This is Boxing Tickets NI. We are delighted to be joined once again by the Carrigan Queen. I'm thinking if I get this right. Shauna O'Keefe. How are you, Shauna?
I'm really good. How are you?
I am fantastic. I'm sure you're probably delighted, probably more than anything now that I know when we last spoke, you knew you'd sort of fight news, but you couldn't say anything. So, it's pretty much now nearly a week since the show obviously was delighted. You're probably like the cat that got the cream, sort of, so to speak.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I've been high on life since it got announced. And just the buzz around the card, the buzz around the fight, the buzz around coming to the Three Arena, like I got reminded of the interview that I did, and I think it was with you in March. And then another interview I did do in my pro debut in December, and my biggest dream was to get to fight in the Three Arena. And 9 months on, I'm actually, it'll be nearly a year actually, I'll be turned over. So it'll be nearly a year and I actually get my dreams come true, my third fight to fight in the Three Arena. It's amazing.
Are you mentioning that the Katie Taylor Chantel Cameron rematch where you were dancing about the stadium the whole night?
Oh, that was epic.
But I guess it's like anything, it's like, when you turn over, let's call a spade a spade. You turn over sometimes you can have dreams and aspirations, and sometimes for a lot of people these don't come true. They be fighting the Three Arena, to be fighting on big cards, and like that's just testament probably to you and your perseverance, because you're someone that when you want something you'll keep torturing and torturing and torturing until you get it, and it's probably through your hard work and determination that's got you this opportunity as well.
Yeah, I believe so. Because obviously, it's been a bit of a slippery slope since I turned over. I got reminded by a really good friend of mine yesterday or 2 days ago, is like, you deserve everything you're getting, Shauna. Everything that I've been through in the last 9, 10 months of my career, 11 months, anyone else, they would have just given up. They would have been just like, this is too hard. And I didn't. I persevered and I just kept going. I'd no fight date. I just kept training. Even though I've been inactive in the ring, I've still been sparring the best of the best. I've still been training. I've been still grafting, and that's what everyone can see. I won't give up. It'll build resilience. It'll build thick, tough skin. It'll just make me even bigger and better for this game, I believe. The more setbacks makes better comebacks, I believe, and that's what's after happening. My biggest dream was to fight on a card like this, and I'm doing it on my third fight. Some people don't do this to like they get to world level. So yeah, I'm blessed with the person that I am, but I'm also blessed with the people that I have around me. I just could keep reminding me of why I'm doing what I'm doing, and that's what keeps me motivated, and that's what keeps me going.
It's you're probably going to keep reminding yourself, obviously, of the Three Arena, and the atmosphere was sort of there on the night, and it's still fresh in your head. Obviously, it'll be a different sort of type of atmosphere, and it was obviously for Matchroom and Katie Taylor and Chantel Cameron, but you know firsthand, obviously, what that atmosphere was like in the night, and if you can get any sort of percentage of that, you'll be a very happy woman.
I'm going to make sure I lift the roof off the Three Arena. I can be sure of that. Everybody, I believe the support that comes from Irish fans and friends, family, the whole lot. When you want them out, they come out loud and proud. And I believe this card and I believe this night is going to be electric. I just have a really good feeling about it. And no matter what you do, no matter how much you promote yourself, it's all about how you are on the night. And that's what's most important. The version of Shauna O'Keefe that people will see inside in that ring. Even though I haven't been in the ring, it'll be nearly 7 months by then, but I'm telling you now, people will not believe the version of myself that's going to be in the ring that night, because I've found a whole new style that suits me down to the ground. And yeah, I just can't wait to showcase it on the night.
It's that confidence you can sort of get. When we spoke the last time, you'd obviously you'd sparred Katie and she'd passed on good advice. You've obviously been sparring Terry Harper's, since as well a couple of times. So like if you can't get confidence from that, they help you. Like, Galway last time out, you obviously get your first stoppage. And if you had a UFC fight pass, Tom Loeffler, Dana White involved with that, you'd be more viral than you already are. So and we spoke and you were saying, I want a big promoter to come involved. Everything you're saying, is actually coming true in a way because you want a big promoter to be involved. You got your big promoter. Not that you want to put that extra pressure on yourself for fight night, but you probably thrive on that pressure. You want to be tested to your limit, and that's when the very best of you will come out.
Yeah, believe it or not, I think it's all about timing, and my timing obviously wasn't there in March. If that night was supposed to be seen, it would have been seen. I believe now the way it's happening with September 20th, with Tom Loeffler, with the Three Arena, it's my time. I believe it's like my pro debut all over again. This will be a breakthrough of my career. This is just going to bring me to whole new heights, and I can feel it. And after that conversation that we had after my fight in March with the big promoter, I actually got talking to Tom Loeffler after that fight. So me and him have actually been in talks since March. He's been watching my social media. He's been watching the way I've trained. I actually had a meeting with him when I went to Saudi Arabia. We had a face-to-face. So I got everything. And it is like that. Everything that I've wanted and all the aspirations and dreams and goals that I've set out, I'm smashing every single one of them. And like if I took a picture, I think I took a picture of a whiteboard and I said it on my whiteboard when I first turned over before I met Kevin Mitchell. I had it down that I wanted to become a sparring partner with Katie Taylor, and I got that. I'm now in camp with Terri Harper for a world title fight at my weight division. We've done over 40 rounds. We've another 8 to do tomorrow. And I'm telling you, the sparring couldn't be going better. So for me to be mixing it the way I am already, and I'm only going into my third fight, I'm so excited to see where my career is going to go.
Are you having to sort of, look back in your whiteboard now and add to this, because if a lot of these things are already happening, you want things, you want to keep, not that you're not going to lose motivation when you keep hitting these goals, but you want to have other goals to hit so that the whiteboard doesn't become a thing where you're going, we can wipe that off now I've done it all. You want to keep adding to it.
I keep adding to it. It's the way I am. I'm after getting told about a next date that I have actually 2 next dates that I have with Tom Loeffler, and they're all down on my whiteboard and they're all going to happen, and I know it. Obviously, when I want to fight for a world title, I want to become world champion. I want to become undisputed, and I want to take over another weight division. This isn't just like one plan with Three Arena. There's a world of plans that I have for the next few years, as I believe I'll have a long career. I want longevity out of it. I'm 30. I can still box it. I'm at least 36. I'm very, very fresh in the game. So there'll be constantly things added to that whiteboard. Once one is ticked off, another one's added, and that's the way I roll.
Obviously, we know the love and affection you obviously have for Katie and everything else, and another woman you have a love and affection for. It's now a two-weight Olympic world champion, Kellie Harrington. Like, what an inspiration! I think she said obviously now that's her finished. I think obviously they've then come out then since and tried to talk her into a third term. We obviously don't know what's going to happen with LA, but I'm sure you get more inspiration from watching the Paris Olympics.
Of course I did. Obviously, we would have wanted it to be a bit more of a successful one for all the fighters. At the end of the day, they put their whole lives on hold for this. And when it doesn't work out the way you want it for them, like, you do feel for them. But obviously, there's other plans that they can make. There's other roads they can go down. It's not the end of their career at the end of the day. The biggest thing they need to take from it, they became Olympians, and some of them are double Olympians, regardless of what medal they bring home. So it's absolutely massive. A lot of the people on the team, I was on team with them, Team Ireland with them, and it's amazing to see. Kellie's always been a massive inspiration to me, and she will always be a massive inspiration. For her to go and win a second gold back to back is just like, she's going down in history. She's going down in history. She's the first one to do it. Please God, I hope other people do it, but no one will ever forget Kellie Harrington. No one will ever forget her. And I can't wait to see what she's going to do next, because there's a lot that woman can do to kind of give back and help out other fighters that are coming through, even help out the high performance, because like they were saying, we need more like Zor. And if there's anyone that's like Zor, would be Kellie Harrington. Kellie Harrington has done so much work for such a long period of time besides Zor. So yeah, it'd be amazing to see. And I was speaking to Kellie back and forth a bit, When she found out I was in the three arena, she said she was going to come. So I'm praying she still comes. It's in our back garden, and obviously, we all support each other in this game, regardless of it being pros and amateurs. I'll support all the lads, and I pray the Lord that they'll support me as well as I'm coming home.
It's crazy to think getting four Olympic Games. We've only lost once in the lightweight division. Obviously, Katie won in 2012. Kellie obviously in 2021 and 2024. It's like, I think now when it comes to, 2028, if boxing stays in the Olympics, people's going to look at whoever the female Irish lightweight fighter is and go, you might as well just give them the gold now, And if their first name begins with K, that's it. It's over. It's in the books already.
Yeah, it's one of the most competitive weights for Ireland. It always has been. It always has been all through like junior, youth, intermediate, then up to elite. It's been always the most competitive weight in the game between 57s and 60s. But that's why we produce the best, because there is the best in the weight.
It definitely is. Obviously, going back to yourself, obviously, let me see if I can get this name right. So you have an opponent, Valgerdur Dottir. That's my pronunciation of it. Apologies to anybody. Hopefully, I haven't offended. But what do you know of your opponent for the 20th of September? The first thing I would look at, and it's probably maybe similar to what you're looking at, is she hasn't been stopped yet. So is that the first sort of thing that you would look at, where you go, she hasn't been stopped? Can I be the first?
So, like I said in the for my last fight, so that's what a lot of people were looking for out of me, whether or not I was going to go for it. If it happens, it happens. That's just the way it is. My main thing is to put on a world class performance, to showcase what I've been working on and showcase what I've been putting together in the last couple of months in the ring. If a stoppage comes in it, then amazing. But I ain't going in rushing looking for no stoppage. I want to put on a world class performance and showcase why I'm definitely someone not to be messed with in the 135 division. I want to make my statement, and I think she's a perfect opponent. She's game. She's going to come at me. She's relentless. Is what you want. It'll be a fight. It will be a tough fight. She's had what? She's had a good number of fights. She's an
12.
experienced veteran. So it's not going to be an easy one. There's women there you could have got that just come off the side of the street, but it's not what I want. It's not what I want. And I've said it since day one. I want to be challenged. They actually went through, like, I want to say 6 or 8 other names, and the pedigree of them. Some of them were 10-0, 12-0, 17-2. They didn't want it. They didn't want it. She was the last option, literally. She was the last one to take it. But I don't want easy fights. It's all well and good taking an easy fight. What am I going to learn from it? I'm sparring world class fighters. So I'm not going to go from sparring world class fighters to going in just boxing any normal Joe So.
It's the right way to be, and as we've seen, obviously in Galway, in your debut, you were so you put so much pressure on yourself to perform that you probably affected your performance because you were rushing it so much. Whereas when you calmed down in Galway, that it just came naturally.
Yeah, it did. There was no pressure. I enjoyed it more. Yeah, and I was more experienced also. Like my pro debut, I was only turned over 3 months. It was kind of a bit quick for it all to happen. And then she was a really good opponent. Don't get me wrong. I'm actually delighted I did take her, because even with everything that went wrong on the night, with me with preparations, and I mentally wasn't prepared for it at all. I still got through and I still got the W. So if I can do that, I believe I can get through absolutely anything. With the good training that I have in my background now, the great experience, the unbelievable rounds I've gotten, it's just going to bring me levels and levels and levels above. So yeah, I'm really excited to showcase it on September 20th.
Are you just sort of maybe looking for, I know we're only coming up a year in your debut, and it's probably unfair to sort of say in some ways, but do you just want a bit more consistency? Obviously, you want, the first 3 months you had two fights, and then you had a sort of break from March to now. Are you just looking at a bit more consistency? Maybe, say every 3 months sort of have a fight?
My goal is to be in my 6th fight by March. So I'm hoping, so this is my 3rd fight. I want to be out again before Christmas. If Even if I could get out twice before Christmas, I'll take it. if I could get out again in January or February, and then I have a definite date in March. So I want to be going. I want to be 5-0 going into my fight in March. That's what I want. So no, once the ball is rolling, I want to keep it rolling. As everybody knows, I stay always ready. I'm always training. I'm always ready no matter what. So if there's a date that comes, if it presents itself, I am going to take it. I want to be as active as I can. I want to just get more and more experience as I can. But I do want to be getting into these big fights. I want the European title. I want to be fighting for world titles within, like, my goal, like I said, by my 6th fight. So we need to get it rolling. I'm not here to waste time, as everybody knows I'm not.
Yeah, it's one of them things, isn't it? Say sometimes, I know, obviously, from speaking to you personally, that obviously you're hungry and you're driven and you want to keep doing it, but it's getting the opportunities sometimes. And even though we know that women's boxing's in an amazing place now, sometimes it's hard to get fights, and that's the problem. That people look for too much money, or they look for excuses not to take a fight, and that's in the background. Something that people don't see, that even though the women's codes went the amazing new levels, sometimes it's, yeah, they want to fight for the European title. No, it's like sometimes people have to remind some of these fighters that they're actually here to fight, rather than sort of protect themselves from a sort of record of somebody coming up.
I can't agree with you more. And like, everybody knew, especially after my last fight, that it would get very hard to find opponents. And lads, it is. I'm not lying to you. It actually is. Nobody wants to get in the ring. I do get it in a sense, like, somebody's 12-0 or 10-0 or 17-2, and they're getting in with a ring that's in the ring with a girl that's 2-0 that could more than likely beat them. They wouldn't want to be taking the risk. Understandable, but at the end of the day, you're in this game to fight. Do not be shying away from fights if they're there, and if there's people wanting to fight you. The whole point of it. You can be guaranteed, and I mark my words, and people can call me on this, I will not be shying away from any fight that comes my way. None. I'm in here because I love my game. I'm not going to pick and choose who I'm going to be getting in the ring with. It's not the way I work. It's not my armor. I'm ready to fight absolutely anybody, and it's a pity there's not more like it. It's a pity, because that's what bring the greatness out of the sport. You'll get the fights that are supposed to happen. But who's to say? Like with the Turk, the first female card is in October with the Turk. Maybe the Turk's going to get all the female cards that are supposed to happen to make them happen.
Yes, now then obviously there's extra money on the line there as well, which is the added bonus. I know that Sky and who's it? Sky fights in that card. The Frank Warren fighter, like, they'll get paid probably. Probably the bad thing for them is they'll get paid more for that fight than they probably get paid for other fights. So then they probably think every other fight after we're going to get the same sort of money. Which unfortunately isn't the case. That with obviously Turk Al Sheikh and the cards that they're making, they've got boatfuls of money. So they can give people the money that they really deserve, but promoters can't sometimes because they have to take their own percentage.
Yeah, I think all you have to do is just be grateful that you're getting a chance, an opportunity on a platform like it. And that's it. They obviously know that other promoters don't have that money to pay it, because some of the fighters that are out there, they've had experience, they've been on different cards, so they know what the normal money is to be getting. Just be appreciative you're getting a massive opportunity to be on such a huge platform, to get the payout that probably could be life-changing money. And that's it. Don't crib after that. You just can't.
I was doing my head on who Sky Nicholson opponent was there, Raven Chapman. I was going,
Yeah.
who's the opponent? I don't like to obviously leave it where maybe somebody's watching back going, who is the opponent? And they can't think of it as well, but it's Raven Chapman she fights, and that'll be obviously a great fight. I don't think we spoke about, obviously, Katie Taylor and Serrano's obviously rematch, like, new ground being broken in female boxing. Obviously the rematch in the Mike Tyson Jake Paul undercard and the AT&T Stadium, pretty much what now, 3 months from now, and it'll be the highest grossing female boxing fight ever. So, like, we know the first fight obviously broke records. The rematch is going to break even more records.
I do believe so, and I believe that Katie deserves every bit of it in abundance, lads. And like, the woman, everything she's done for the sport is just, it's next level. We are doing what we are because of her. And obviously there's been more women before it. We can't forget it. Like the last female card, like they know, is Christy Martin and Deirdre Gogarty, which was the Mike Tyson 28 years ago, which was a phenomenal fight. So if anybody hasn't seen it, they need to go watch it. It's one of the best female fights I've ever seen in my life. We only had the chat about it there this morning. So Terry's obviously here, we're sparring, and we just sat down, myself and Paul, and we were just going on about it back and forth. There's not many females out there like it in this day. Like the Christy Martins, like the Deirdre Gogarty, like that Christy Martin, like she's a force to be reckoned with. Like, yeah, that's what you need. Like women, if women are going to want to aspire to be like anything, watch them. Watch the way they are. They just give zero. I'm not going to curse about anything. They don't care about anything. It's all about going in. Another conversation that's been coming up a lot. The whole kill or be killed in the sport is kind of dying out a small bit with some fighters. It needs to come back. That's what makes the fight so exciting. The glitz and the glam and, oh, I'm looking amazing. Brilliant. But get in and do the job and do it. Like, get people excited about it again. Do you get me? That's what I think is lacking. I think that definitely needs to come back. But in regards to Katie Taylor, I'm telling you, I'm going to say it on here. Katie Taylor is beating Amanda Serrano again. 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. Yeah. Had a brilliant week with her. I will be going back over again after my fight. Cannot wait. And I'm really excited to see what way Katie is. Because she was flying it when I was over with her in May. And yeah, Katie Taylor is nowhere near finished, lads. She's nowhere near finished.
The extra times probably helped as well, because obviously we know when the first Cameron fight came about, Serrano pulled out, and obviously then that fight was sort of made shorter notice. But Katie's had since, what was it, earlier this year, that fight was announced and the card was postponed. So she's had months and months and months to prepare. If she's pictures on dartboards, pictures on dartboards, she's all she's had to focus on was when the Amanda Serrano rematch was. And the good thing as well, it's up in weight as well, it's up at 140. So, it's only going to help Katie more. As we've seen, obviously, in the rematch with Chantel, nobody was beating her on that night. And, Serrano's not going to beat her. It's going to be repeat rather than revenge.
Yeah, so if anybody knows Katie Taylor, had this argument after this first Chantel Cameron and Katie Taylor fight. Anyone that knows Katie Taylor, that was not Katie Taylor on the night. There was something off. Everybody, from literally the first round, you could see it. And it was showcased on fight 2. Chantel Cameron showed everything she had in that first fight, which there was no surprises going to be brought into to fight 2. I think you either have it or you don't. And Chantel showed everything she had in the first one. Katie Taylor, between the first and the second one, they're worlds apart. They're worlds apart. That's Katie Taylor in the second one. So that's why she beat her. And that's why Chantel Cameron couldn't answer to her, because everybody knows that Katie Taylor on her day, lads, she can't be beaten. She's too much in her armory. She's brilliant. And then with the whole weight step up, you have to look at it this way. I watched Amanda Serrano's last fight, and I know she stopped her one, I think, in like the 4th round or something, or whatever it was, but she overwhelmed her. She didn't stop her by knocking her out or taking her out with any heavy punch, which I found a small bit surprising, because as far as I heard, Amanda Serrano's really strong at super feather. So if she's really strong at super feather, why is she not taking out girls at super light? Because that extra weight and all that adds extra power, so on and so forth. So me, I believe Katie Taylor will be too fast, too quick, and I think it'll be even more of a different fight than what it was in the first one.
Definitely, be hoping to see him. I guess, obviously, the final thing that sort of want to mention, obviously, is that atmosphere, obviously, walking into the 3 Arena. Like, how far is Clonmel away from Dublin? Obviously, this is me showing my geography. Are you far away?
It's give or take an hour and a half up the motorway.
So about the same distance as from even Belfast, then?
Yeah. Pretty much, yeah.
Obviously it's that support that's going to take you to that next level, and obviously have the likes of Tom Loeffler and stuff like that interested, not just be your talent you have out the ring, but obviously the tickets and everything else you sell them. I'm guessing tickets are flying out for you so far.
Yeah, they have been. The support has been absolutely next level. I can't even explain how grateful I am for everybody. Because I get on really well with everybody at home. There's no one that can say a bad word about me, and everybody's been behind my career since day one, since I was 14. It brings an awful lot of joy to my town. So I went home a few weeks ago, and the buzz around when I got to tell people, like, because obviously I've started to tell people now that it was going to be announced. There's pubs organising buses. My home boxing club, all of them are going. My family, like, the list goes on. And then there's loads in Dublin. There's people I've met over here. There's people I met in Saudi Arabia in May at the card that are all after buying tickets coming. The support is next level. It's honest to God, it's next level. I cannot wait for the night. And I've never been more grateful to be in my sport than I have, even though it's hard. It's probably one of the best sports in regards for people supporting you and coming on board and giving you that lift that you need. It's absolutely amazing, if I'm being honest.
That support, obviously, just to finally finish, obviously that support and obviously that drive and everything else. Like, do you sort of have to? It's not that you have to pinch your sort of self, but I think sometimes when you really sit down and look at it, where you feel proud and honoured that obviously so much people, and as you say, you met people out in Dubai that obviously you've got friendly with there, and then they're coming and giving you support. Like, that probably shows the character and the person that you are. That people are happy to get behind your career and spend money to travel and watch you.
Yeah, it's been it's been amazing. Like, the joy I've been jumping around with all week is next level. I can't even contain it. But because of the people I have around me, they're keeping me grounded and keeping me level headed. It's not making me get overexcited either. At the end of the day, I've a task at hand, and that's to put on a performance of a lifetime, September 20th. I'm over the moon that people are coming on board, that people are buying tickets. But for me, I'll celebrate with them after I get a big, massive win and show them why they are sitting in those seats in September 20th, and keep them all involved after that day. Because what I want in my career, when you're involved at the start of my career, I'm going to bring you all along this beautiful journey, which is my career, all the way to world level, all the way to world titles, and be the first girl in Tipperary to bring back a world title to my hometown. Yeah, I'm absolutely buzzing. I'm so excited.
Definitely. Well, listen, thanks very much for your time as always. Obviously, just 4 weeks tomorrow to go. Obviously, for anybody that's sort of watching this that hasn't got their ticket yet, make sure and get on to Shauna. And she's got her own personal link. Obviously, helps her, obviously, in selling tickets. May even get a bit of commission out of it as well. But, Shauna, hopefully, the next couple of weeks go well for you in camp. We'll no doubt see you in Fight Week in Belfast. Sorry, in
Yeah,
Dublin. In Dublin, Belfast. I've been dreaming of in Belfast, but in Dublin.
I look forward to seeing you in person in Dublin
In
fight week.
Dublin. Definitely, Charlotte. Thanks very much for your time and I hope you enjoy the rest of
Have
your
a
day.
nice evening.
Cheers, take
Bye.
care. Thanks, bye bye.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye. Bye.